What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Make Waves. So today I want to talk about a few different things. I have recently hit my 3 years here in my town where I moved to follow my dream, and I also have recently hit my 3 years at my dream job. And it's so wild to think that it's already been 3 years. I mean, time flies, especially when you're having fun. You know how the saying goes. So I made a list of 3 things that I had learned in 3 years. I tried to really break down the most important lessons that I felt I had learned each year as I moved out here. And I want to share those 3 things with you guys. I think that they're very beneficial, especially if you're new to starting out a dream that you're hopefully pursuing, if you're listening to this channel. And yeah, I want to really just break this down and try to give you the best input that I can come up with on getting started. So the first thing that I had learned from moving out here, I say, is the importance of metamorphosis. You know, I felt like my life had completely transformed. I felt like I sort of was in my cocoon before I moved out here. I felt like I kind of just went dormant into this just like tomb, I guess you could say. I can't even think of another word to describe it, but like, you know, you just kind of go into this claustrophobic state of just dead. After so many years in a certain place and in a certain lifestyle, you just kind of feel like you just got nothing left in you, right? And moving out here, ironically, I was saying I was spreading my wings, no pun intended, because I was spreading my wings and I was moving, and I felt like I was gaining my wings because it was the first time that I had actually done anything this big. And so it was a really, really big move for me. Moving literally clear across the country. I'll probably end up telling my actual story of my whole journey in another video sometime. I think that would be a really great story for you guys to hear. But I want to focus on you guys before we focus on me. I think you guys should come first. I am just over here trying to help you. I'm irrelevant in this scenario. I'm just here to help you, but I'm irrelevant otherwise. So I'm not trying to lead with my story because who gives a crap right now? But so anyway, I wanted to basically spread my wings. I just felt like I had I needed to start over. It was just time. I needed to start over and make a giant transformation and just change everything entirely. I changed my hair color. I changed everything. I didn't know a single person in the state where I had moved. And I realized, you know, making this decision, because at the time, I didn't know if it was going to be the absolute best or the absolute worst decision I have ever made in my entire life. Honestly, to my surprise, I thought it was hands down the best decision I had ever made in my entire life. And even 3 years later, I still agree. And I'm not going to say that it was all easy at first. Of course not. It was extremely difficult in ways I never even would have imagined. But, you know, when your entire life changes, and I'm not saying that you have to move clear across the country to pursue your dream or to go through a metamorphosis, but I'm just saying, if this is your calling, do it. Do it. You don't have to, you know, do this to pursue your dream, because your dream more than likely doesn't require you moving clear across the country. But I'm going to say, spread your wings and start wherever you're at. But because my life did require me moving clear across the country, I realized, I mean, it was life changing. And not only for the obvious reasons, based on the fact that my life literally changed, but I feel like my entire outlook on life changed because my life changed. Even things as simple and stupid as it may seem, as getting away from your hometown, of comparing yourself to your high school classmates, or comparing yourself to, people who had like the cool job in your hometown, and then just going out and doing something completely wild that no one else is doing, going somewhere no one else is going, where you don't even know a soul in the state, which is, not the greatest decision on a lot of reasons. I also learned that the hard way. I got story times on that. But, it was just literally so life changing. And just seeing, how many more people are out there. People that it's like you don't have to put up with the toxic people in your hometown. Not saying that there's not toxic people here, but it's different people. It's like you go through this sort of phase of realizing, I like this toxicity better than the old toxicity because at least I chose this toxicity. I chose it, therefore it's mine, therefore I kind of like it. I not like it, but I will take this one over the old. And realizing, that your high school crush maybe wasn't all that much. You weren't even a good match, and he was really just the pick of the patch. But there's so much more out there. There's plenty of fish in the sea, as they say. I meet people out here who have either never or only as few as one time actually left this state. Can you imagine never leaving the state you were from, born in, grew up in your entire life? Never leaving. Ever. Let alone moving. I don't feel like what I did, honestly, was that great. Okay, I moved to a different state. Big whoop. But at the same time, some people don't. Some people don't. The second most important thing I learned was dye your hair blue. Now, I don't mean literally dye your hair blue unless you want to. If you want to dye your hair blue, I fully support you making that decision. But I do also fully encourage you to do something as wild as dyeing your hair blue. If you think about it, how many people do you know who have dyed their hair blue? If you're on this channel, I honestly doubt you know very many people who have dyed their hair blue. Because I kind of doubt you guys are the type of people who do something like this. I kind of doubt it. But it may surprise you, may not. I have had my hair previously dyed blue. And every other color for that matter. But dyeing my hair blue, I felt like was something that was a little bit out there, even for me, which I feel like says a lot because I'm kind of notorious for doing things that are a little bit out there and edgy. Edgy. As if. Honestly, the amount of things that I have learned from dyeing my hair blue is kind of not even comprehensible. Because truly, dyeing your hair blue, or just doing something equivalent to that, but I honestly don't know what would be equivalent to that. Oh, you know what you could do? I know what you could do. You could buy yourself a mermaid tail. That's the most equivalent thing you could do. It makes you realize how simple it can be to go out of your comfort zone by literally just changing your hair color to some kind of exotic color. It doesn't have to be brown or blonde or highlights or a dark red. It can be blue. And it changes your entire look your appearance. It changes, I feel like, also your outlook, because have you ever heard people say that your hair color kind of just makes you change personalities? I am a full believer in this, because I swear every time I've dyed my hair a different color, and again, I've dyed my hair like every color possible, my personality would literally change. It was super wild. But every time my hair was blue, it would literally change my personality. Now, I'm not saying that your personality should change. I'm just saying that doing something out of your comfort zone with something as simple as dyeing your hair is a great place to start. It's a wonderful place to start. And it's fun. It's so much fun. You can always grow your hair back if it falls out. You can always get a wig if it falls out. You could even get a blue wig. Or a black wig. But dye your hair blue first. I will just give you a heads up that blue dye does stain your shower pretty bad. So also get some bleach. Get some blue hair dye and bleach. The two B's. Let me throw in one more B word. Dye your hair black after you dye your hair blue, and then never go back. Never go back. Unless you want to. I mean, I fully support going back to blue hair. I want to go back so bad, but because of the fact it stains my shower, I don't want to, and that's why I wear wigs now. But, live and learn. It's something that I think everyone should experience once. The blue hair and the stained shower, because misery loves company. The third thing I've learned is take that risk. We're all so on the fence about taking a risk as simple as dyeing your hair blue. I guarantee you're not considering it after listening to this last 2-3 minutes of me venting about how you should dye your hair blue. And this is exactly why this is number 3, because this is trying to encourage you to still dye your hair blue. Again, it doesn't have to be blue. I understand not everyone is a mermaid like I am, but dye your hair purple. Dye your hair rainbow. I don't know. Whatever is authentic to you, but that's also out of your comfort zone. You feel me? Back to number 3. Take that risk. It's so overwhelming wanting to do something, but just not having the guts to do it, right? I am a huge Swiftie. It's a little known fact. And the saying, so she has her album Fearless, and the motto for her album Fearless is basically being fearless isn't being unafraid. It's being absolutely terrified, but jumping anyway, which is so true. I feel like we all feel like we need to have some sort of superpower level of bravery to make moves like this, and we don't. We only get this brave by taking the steps to be brave. There's some saying, and I can't remember how it goes, but it's something like you can pray for things to get better, but instead you're going to get a situation to be brave in, and that's how it's going to get you through it. Because you're going to pull yourself through it by finding the courage to get through it. Something like that. And it totally makes sense. And I think that I had spent so many years of my life thinking that somebody was going to come and save me from the town that I lived in and just pull me out of there, and we were going to ride off into the sunset on a white horse. And nobody ever came to save me, so to speak. I had to claw my way out. I had to realize what it was that I wanted in life, and I had to make those decisions myself to get myself out of there, and I did. I found the courage to move to a state where I knew nobody in the entire state, not one soul in the state, not one. and realized that it was the best thing that's ever happened to me. Had I not taken those steps and gotten myself out, I don't know where I would be right now. I don't know where I would be. I don't know if I would still be waiting for someone to come and save me. I don't know if I would have just given up on that idea and my dream. I don't know. And I honestly don't want to know, because I don't think it would be any place good. You have got to start somewhere. Preferably where you're at. Because, I mean, if you don't start where you're at, you're never going to get anywhere. I had to hire myself a life coach and start manifesting what I wanted. It was not easy, but it got me here. I strongly believe, and I should do another video on this. I'm really just making a note to myself every time I say that out loud. I should do an entire video, though, on why I'm a firm believer the number one regret people have is not following their dreams. The number one regret. Imagine living your entire life just to regret it. No, like, actually imagine it, though, because I know you're just, like, listening to it and it went in one ear and out the other. Literally, sit down, think about what I just said, and then think about it again. Imagine living your entire life. You're on your deathbed. You're like 80 years old with gray hair. Your significant other is probably dead. You're all alone. Because we all die alone at the end of the day. And you're like, I never did that thing that I really wanted to do. I never did it. And I really wish I would have. But now it's too late. What is that thing? What is it? What is that thing that you think that you won't end up doing and that you're gonna regret on your deathbed? Because I know you know what it is. I know you know. You know you're gonna regret it because you know that you want to do it now, but something is stopping you. And what is that that's stopping you? What is it? Why is it holding you back? You might feel like your dream is kind of a joke because people have probably told you that your dream is a joke. You might think that me saying this is kind of a joke. But wouldn't you rather think that this is a joke now than realize on your deathbed that your life was a joke? And I don't mean this sarcastically. I mean, seriously, what is the point of living your life if it's just a joke? If you just actually worked for the government the entire existence of your life on Earth. You fell for that trap. You were basically a slave. Is that not a joke? Wouldn't it at least be a good joke to have lived your entire life and worked for the government as a slave to the government, because we all are at the end of the day, but have at least had fun doing it? Wouldn't that be a better joke? I mean, is there really anything better than getting revenge on your persecutor? Saying, you really thought you had me. Turns out I like hell. I know this is very live, laugh, love cliche, but seriously, you only have one life. Only one. How do you want to live it? I'm going to throw in a bonus one just in case y'all didn't take my blue-haired one, number 2. Seriously. Which just pains me to even think about the fact that you wouldn't take that seriously, but I honestly doubt, if you're watching this, listening to this, that I doubt that you are going to dye your hair blue. And it's not even the fact that you wouldn't take my advice is what hurts me the most. It's the fact that you're missing out on one of the greatest joys of life. Like beyond childbirth, beyond a box of puppies. The joy you get from having blue hair and seeing the fright in old people's faces in a conservative town, you have no idea how much joy that brings. Which brings me to number 4. Manifest. This is my bonus one, okay? Manifest. Make that vision board. Make those vision boards. I'm going to make my own in a couple weeks. I already have one, but I'm going to make one that's like a lot better. And I'm going to put a picture of you guys, which I don't know what y'all look like, so I'm going to put my social media handle and I'm going to put a picture of people with blue hair on it and imagine that my following dyes their hair blue. It has been proven. What we set our mind to, we will make happen. How many things in your life have you set your mind to? Like simple things. I am going to make dinner tonight. I am going to go to work tomorrow. I am going to the grocery store today. How many things like that have you set your mind to? And I mean really set your mind to, because you know that you have to make it happen or the outcome's not going to be very good if you don't. And you make it happen. Why is it any different with your dreams? Why do you procrastinate, make excuses, put it off? Why? Because anything that you put your mind to that you seriously want, you will make happen. So why is it that you don't want this to happen for some reason? What's behind that? I understand that there can be fear holding you back, and I think that the best way to overcome that is to simply call in what you want and put it out there and speak it out loud and get past that stigma that this is scary. Because it is, you know why it's scary? It is scary, and I'll admit that. You know why it is though? Because it's powerful. It's powerful. That's why it's scary. When you make those vision boards and when you speak it out, you call it in, you're making it happen. I don't think there has ever been anything in my life that I have manifested that I haven't gotten. I mean, and it's only been a few years. Okay, I haven't met Taylor Swift yet. The one exception. And of course, it's Taylor Swift. She's kind of the ultimate exception. But I still believe it's going to happen. I honestly think it's going to happen when she gets to her ultimate peak, which I've just literally thought every single year that she's at her peak, and she just keeps rising higher and higher and higher, and it's like, what the heck? I mean, she's actually God at this point, but I honestly think she's gonna hit her ultimate peak, and that's gonna be the year I meet her. And then I can tell everyone that after that point, her career is gonna drop, and they're all like, no, she's only gotten bigger, and I'm gonna be like, no, just watch. I guarantee it. That's just something I've always felt. And you know what, that intuition feeling, you guys, I could make so much content on this intuition feeling too. Wow. Another note to myself. Point is, call in what you want. Scream it off the rooftops if you have to, while manifesting that one day you'll be screaming, I effing made it, off the marble shingles of your 12-bedroom mansion in Spain. Is Spain even capable of having a marble shingles? You know what? It doesn't matter. Because you know what? If you manifest it, it's possible. Because anything, and I mean anything, is possible. Even meeting Taylor Swift in this day and age is possible. It's possible because I'm a professional mermaid. Therefore, I know anything is possible. Well, that's all I got for my 3-year update and 3 or 4 tips later. I hope you guys got something out of at least one of them. I hope you do all of them on some level, whatever is authentic to you. I hope you take all of those into your life and apply it to your dream. I'm really excited to see where I end up next. You know what they say, third time is a charm. 3rd year is a charm, I think, is equivalent to third time is a charm. So I'm gonna manifest third time is a charm in my 3rd year and see where I end up. You know what? I do live in the country now. And they say third time is a charm. Maybe this year I should call in a farm. I could just manifest a farm. I could have my own horse trough of baby mermaids. Or seahorses. For more, follow me on almost any social media platform at Mermaid Kassandra with a K. Also find me on almost any social media platform at Make Waves Coach. Also, check out my podcast, Make Waves, Mermaid Kassandra, every place podcasts are found. You can book a free discovery call with me. Link will be in the description. I will talk to all of you guys next time. Now go out there and make waves. Mwah!